To date, your tips have led to the capture of 366 fugitives. Tonight's capture, Leo Catchaway. Police say he was a member of an incestuous child molestation ring, but we found the clue that led police to his hideaway. Then, she was a rising new star in the punk rock world.
Mia had a power and the passion of somebody like a Janis Joplin.
But her song was cut short by a killer. Tonight, we travel to Seattle to track down America's Most Wanted.
Good evening from Seattle. I'm John Wall. This city is home to some of the biggest names in rock, groups like Pearl Jam and Nirvana. It's become a mecca for alternative rock bands looking for exposure. We've come to Seattle to help solve a murder case that has haunted the music community here for 2 years. Tonight, they're asking for your help. Lennon Ozizwe reports.
You've probably heard the smoky voice of this raven-haired singer in the black leather pants before.
My name's Joan, J-O-A-N, Jett, J-E-T-T.
Joan Jett is one of the founding mothers of punk rock, a brand of music born in the 70s, distinguished by the raucous, raw rhythms of alienation.
I was there when it started, sort of, yeah.
She's probably most famous for singing I Love Rock and Roll. But the words Joan sings on this day were written by someone you've probably never heard of. Seattle singer Mia Zapata. Joan sings because Mia can't. Like Joan, Mia was a vocal powerhouse, one who had so much promise. But unlike Joan, Mia will never have the chance to become famous, even though music insiders say the singer was heading to the top.
She was the neo-punk diva of her time. I mean, she was the best. If you can imagine, like, the most beautiful, you know, set of, like, crystal glasses, and you run your fingers along the rims of the crystal glasses, and they make those purest tones, those beautiful tones. Now, if you can imagine taking sandpaper and making those tones with sandpaper.
By the summer of '93, Mia and her band, known as The Gits, had just come off a successful tour. Record executives were courting them, including talent scout Tim Summer, who also discovered the #1 group, Hootie and the Blowfish.
I really have very, very little doubt that Mia Zapata was the woman vocalist in the 90s. Like, people are like going, but I never heard of her. Well, you never heard of her because her life got cut short.
Mia's life was cut short July 7th, 1993, when she was killed on a Seattle street. She was 27 years old. For a neo-punk diva, Mia began her life ordinarily enough. The youngest of 3 kids born to parents who were broadcasting executives.
She was a good daughter. She cared a lot about the world around her.
There were Catholic schools, but only hints of anything musical. If there was a punk monster raging inside Mia, she did her best to hide it from the nuns and her family.
One time she was behind her door, locked as usual, and playing her guitar very softly and singing. And maybe out of jealousy or maybe just to tease her, I pounded on the door really loud. Went bam, bam, bam. Leave me alone. You know, she's totally embarrassed by it.
By the time she hit Antioch College in Ohio, the vocalist was out from behind closed doors and performing in public.
When you first saw her, what did you think?
I was blown away, and I cried because of the beauty of her voice. I was really moved, and really at that point, I knew I really wanted to work in a band with her.
And so Matt Dresner did form a band, with Mia as the vocalist, Steve Moriarty on the drums, and Andy Kessler playing guitar. After college, the band, as well as about 2/3 of their class, drifted to what's become an alternative music mecca, Seattle. Birthplace of such megastar groups as Nirvana and Pearl Jam.
What did the music mean to you, and what did it mean to Mia?
It just meant everything to her. It was her life, you know.
She didn't have much else. You know, I don't think any of us really did.
Her music was often an unflinching, if shattered reflection of that life. When a friend was raped, Mia put her own rage to music. And in her own words, Mia's diary charts the band's progress. On August of '92, she writes to the group signing with an independent label, a label that put out the group's first CD. There's an entry February of '93 where Mia anticipates going on tour. Another tour later that summer was so successful, Mia didn't want it to end.
She was saying, I don't really want to go back to Seattle, you know, I just wish we could just keep going on tour. And I said, yeah, we just get through it, you know, just another week and then we'll be out there again.
On July 5th, Mia wrote in her diary, "Someday I'll be old and I'll be devastated that I've lived that long." It would be her last entry. That same day, she met her father for lunch.
I looked her right in the eye and I said, you know, Mia, if you never sold a record your entire life, you'd always be my superstar. She looked at me and she laughed. She said, I know, Dad, and I love you for it, too. Take care driving home. I got in the car and drove on. Next thing I heard was the coroner calling me to tell me that she was dead.
The day after that lunch with her dad, Mia met with friends, including her best friend, Maria Madra, at one of her favorite hangouts, the Comet.
And she was more upbeat than downbeat the night that you talked to her here.
Very upbeat, very positive. I had never actually seen her that happy in a while.
She left at about midnight and headed up the street to see another friend. She stayed until about 2 in the morning and told the friend she was going to catch a cab. Mia was found about an hour and 15 minutes later by a stranger passing by.
Mia's body was located about 3:15 in the morning by a citizen traveling through the area. She was lying in the street. The hood of her sweatshirt was pulled up over her head. The drawstrings of her sweatshirt were tied around her neck.
She'd been brutally assaulted and strangled. Police believe she was then dumped in the Central District, about a mile and a half from where she was last seen.
Just broke our hearts, you know. I think one thing that's really so hard is knowing how she suffered.
Mia's memory's been honored in a number of ways, including Joan Jett's Go Home, a music video from her latest CD. Joan plays a woman stalked by a mysterious man. Joan is also making music with the surviving members of Mia's group. A CD is due out next month, with some of the money going to hire a private investigator.
I wanted the music to live for the band, for the guys, and for Mia.
How did you guys make that very painful decision to keep on playing?
One, for our own therapy. I mean, to help deal with this loss. Another important reason was because Mia would be really upset if we didn't. We had to do it in honor of her. We couldn't quit because of something so wrong.
Someone in the shadows must have heard something or seen something that night and just hasn't come forward. Well, after 2 years and no relief in the case, Mia's loved ones are hoping that someone will come forward tonight.
Here's what we know. Mia routinely took cabs from a stand at this gas station near the Comet. She was last seen wearing a black hooded sweatshirt emblazoned with the name of her group. Robbery does not seem to be a motive. Mia was wearing an antique ring and portable radio when she was found. Witnesses heard screams in the neighborhood. At the same time, a white Cadillac was seen idling in the area. But these clues have not been enough to lead the police or the private investigator to a killer.
Death is so cold.
Her For those who love Mia and keep her spirit alive through music and memories, finding her killer would be the best tribute of all.
We were supposed to live forever together. We were going to grow old together. This guy has to be caught. If he's still walking around the same streets I'm walking around, my life's in danger. And other women. I just want the deaths to stop.
This is the Comet Club, where Mia spent her last night. It was her hangout, her home away from home. The memory of her murder still haunts this street. So if you know anything at all about this case, please make that call. 1-800-CRIME-TV. When we come back, a fugitive whose favorite pastime is running from the law.
America's Most Wanted is brought to you by Stay Free SureFit. It's the best protection you can buy.
Wouldn't it be great to feel this secure, even when you're having your period? Introducing Stay Free SureFit. It protects you in a whole new way. Look, the gap in Kotex can cause accidents. Same with Always. New Stay Free SureFit has a gently raised center to avoid gaps. That means it protects you better. Better than anything else. Now that's the way it should be. New Stay Free SureFit. No worries. Just protection. No kidding.
So tender, so innocent, your gums. So vulnerable to the wicked germs hoping to ravage them. Insidiously, they can inflict gum disease. These germs are not fiction. They are in your mouth, threatening your gums. Stop them now with Listerine. Only germ-killing Listerine is clinically proven to help prevent the gum disease gingivitis. Listerine, the power of prevention. They're germs. They deserve to die.
How much do you pay for a minute of long distance to someone who's, say, 3,000 miles away?
Ooh, over $1 a minute.
Guess again.
Maybe 50, 60 cents a minute.
Keep guessing.
60-some cents.
No matter how far away, it's just 10 cents a minute with Sprint Cents. It's as simple as that.
You mean across the whole country?
I can call somebody in Phoenix,
New York, Alabama.
10 cents to Hawaii. Amazing how far a dime will go.
Call now for 10 cents a minute and get up to 100 minutes free.
And up the stairs, down the stairs. Bell, knocker, and bell. 1, 2, 3. Pizza, 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 pizza. Keep on staying. Go, go, go. My grand. Pizza, pizza.
Caesars introduces delivery. Now get 2 top-of-the-line Little Caesars Pleasers delivered.
Pizza, pizza. Lawyer Lou Verschetti doesn't have celebrity clients.
Where did you go to school?
Kiss my butt. He doesn't handle high-profile cases.
What'd they take? They took my kidney, Lou. Organ thieves?
But when it comes to standing up for the little guy...
My eyes were focused on this 3-foot midget here. Objection! My client is a dwarf, Your Honor.
He's a one-man dream team.
We owe you one. See you, Lou.
While You Were Sleeping's Michael Rispoli is The Great Defender, premiering Monday at 9, 8 Central on Fox.
Bevan is a drifter. He doesn't like to hang around any place too long, especially if that place is a jail. On July 3rd, 1982, Bevan was in the Cook County Jail in Gainesville, Texas, awaiting trial for the rape of a young girl. He didn't plan to wait there long.
I have known Roy Wayne Bevan and his family for, I guess, from the time Roy was 5 or 6 years old. When you trap a coyote in a trap by its leg, that coyote will do anything to get out of that trap, even to gnawing its own leg off to gain freedom. Roy Wayne Bevan is the same type of person. It was his burning desire from the moment he went in jail to escape.
Bevan got his chance before he even went to trial. Inmate Robert Coleman had just been made a jail trustee. He used the privilege to help Bevan break out.
Don't say it's like doing the radio room. I know, I saw. You got yours on? Yeah. Good. Let's do it.
With only one jailer on duty, Bevan and Coleman ran past an unoccupied front desk and into the Texas night.
We're gonna need some place to hide. I know an empty house out behind a friend's place.
Bevan and Coleman planned to wait until dawn, then hitchhike Interstate Highway 35 to Canada. But by 6:30 a.m., police began closing in.
Get up, get up!
Bevan seemed to be home free. Texas State Trooper Mike Compton tracked him down like a bloodhound.
Bevan? Bevan? Bevan, I see you, boy. You start crawling towards me real slow. You better be singing Near My God today.
Bevan was returned to jail for the crime he'd confessed to 3 months earlier, the brutal rape of his 6-year-old stepdaughter.
How's my little girl?
He was always waiting for my mom to leave so he could abuse me. He would threaten me with my life and make me scared not to tell anybody what he would do to me. Oh, honey, how'd you do that?
You're gonna get that whole pretty face of yours all black and blue.
He was around my mom or something. He would always say that he loved me and that I was his little girl and stuff, but then when we were by ourselves, I was terrified to be around him because I knew that when we were alone that he was gonna hurt me.
I don't want to go fishing.
I'm just gonna see if the river's up.
On May 6th, River left her little sister in the car.
Water's no good. Looks like we're just gonna have to do something else.
I was tired of him always doing this to me, so I decided to fight back. Was kicking and hitting and struggling, trying to get away from him. And then he just kept hitting harder and knocked my teeth out.
What happened to you?
Oh, she just fell off the bike.
That's from falling off a bike.
When I scolded her, she spit in my face. So I smacked her one, that's all. I guess I hit her a little hard, but she'll get over it.
He would tell me if I told anybody what he did to me, that he would kill me. And I would never think to do anything like that again.
Despite Bevan's threats, Sally found the courage to tell her mother and a neighbor that Bevan had raped her many times.
Whatever it is, you just tell Mommy the truth. My mom made me realize that nothing was going to happen to me, that it wasn't my fault. It's going to be okay, honey, all right? Isn't that your husband's truck?
Yeah. But that boy wasn't driving it. Let me go to work.
We're going to get you some help.
proceeded to Cook County Sheriff's Office. The next day, arrest warrant was issued for Roy Wayne Bevan. In 37 years of law enforcement, there have been thousands of cases I have been involved in. Out of those thousands of cases, there are probably 8 or 10 that really stick out in your mind, that are branded on your memory. This was one of those. The look on that little girl's face is something you'll never forget.
Bevan got 50 years for the rape conviction. His escape cost him 7 more.
Again, Roy Wayne, from the moment he goes into jail, is like that coyote in the trap. He's trying to get out. He observed the routine at the jail, found out at certain times there was only one jailer on duty. He manipulated another inmate to help him.
On October 25th, 1982, Bevan and cellmate Curtis Henderson saw another opportunity. The jail had just installed a new, supposedly foolproof electronic locking system, but Bevan and Henderson spotted a flaw.
That's it. Now, you boys don't want to be doing that. Get his glass. Do not want to get his wallet. You don't want to. They're going to put you away for the rest of your life.
With Cook County's one jailer on duty now locked up, Bevan and Henderson made a quick and easy getaway.
My partner and I were on patrol when we received a radio dispatch that 2 people had escaped from the county jail. They'd overpowered the jailer and taken the keys to his car. We had to decide which way to go, and 7 miles north was Oklahoma, so we headed for about a half a mile when we came up behind a vehicle that met the description that the dispatcher had given. That's our boy! We were excited. We couldn't believe it.
What are you going to do, Roy? I ain't giving up without a fight.
We radioed in our position and turned on our red lights and sirens. The vehicle accelerated to speeds of 90 miles an hour. Our dispatcher advised us that Marietta would have a roadblock set up. If they stayed on the highway northbound, we would just stay behind them at a safe distance and follow them. But if they tried to exit into a populated area that would put other people in danger, then we were going to have to stop the vehicle. There's a roadblock.
What are you doing, Roy Wayne? Jump! Don't stop! Shut up. Roy, shut! We're pull over! Can you believe that son of a bitch? All right, take him out.
You have a very large adrenaline rush. Your heart's beating 1,000 miles an hour. It's like riding a roller coaster and not knowing what's around the corner. But as long as you can maintain composure and continue to do your job, then that's the most important thing.
You're not going anywhere this time, boy.
Once again, Bevan was back in custody, and once again, another 7 years were added to his sentence, but it barely slowed him down.
Campbell! Sam! Bevan! Bevan!
On February 9th, 1985, Roy Wayne Bevan vanished for good.
It really didn't come as a surprise knowing how cunning Roy Wayne is, and after all, he'd had 3 years in the prison to look for a window of opportunity, and I'm sure he'd spent every day down there and every waking moment looking for a way out. He's out there somewhere, and somebody knows him. I don't want to forget about Roy Wayne, because I remember the look in that little 6-year-old girl's eyes.
Let's all remember that little girl's pain as we look for the man who raped her. He stole her innocence and her childhood. It's time he paid the price. Roy Wayne Bevan was 26 years old when he was first arrested in 1982, but even 1 year in prison changed his looks dramatically. This is how forensic artist Karen Taylor thinks Bevan looks now, after 13 years on the run. He may still have a mole on the left side of his neck, and scars on his left wrist, forearm, thigh, and back. Bevan smokes Marlboros, must take the drug Dilantin to control his epileptic seizures. He's an outdoorsman and may be living in a trailer park or campground. And he's worked at carnivals and as an auto mechanic and gas station attendant. If you've seen Roy Wayne Bevan, call our hotline at 1-800-CRIME-TV. Coming up next, a group organized for one purpose, to molest children, and the amazing story of how we took one of the accused child rapists off the street.
Without the crucial bit of information that was learned by America's Most Wanted, we don't know how long it would have taken us to locate Mr. Catchaway.
We could move the grilled shrimp over. How did Red Lobster fit 30 shrimp on one plate for $9.99? It wasn't easy. Crispy fried shrimp, grilled shrimp, savory scampi. 30 shrimp, just $9.99. Hurry to Red Lobster. Where are we going to put the lemon?
Palmolive antibacterial gets germs off hands. And grease off dishes. Germs like Staphylococcus aureus. And grease like chicken fat. She always gets the easy ones.
Palmolive antibacterial, the anti-germ Palmolive.
My doctor just told me I'll never have to worry about heartburn like my mother. No antacids, Tums, or Malox? No, he said there was something brand new. Nothing like antacids.
It's called Pepsid AC, acid controller.
Pepsid AC?
This one little Pepsid AC pill stops heartburn.
Then controls acid an incredible 9 hours. 9 hours? Mm-hmm. Oh, that's all day. Well, now you won't need those antacids you're always taking. And new Pepsid AC can prevent heartburn from ever starting. So I can have linguine and clam sauce again. And live the way we want.
Pepsid, the prescription that's helped millions, is now available in non-prescription strength for heartburn and acid indigestion. You can be heartburn-free with new Pepsid AC.
Tylenol Extended Relief.
They named it Tylenol Extended Relief because it's extended relief.
I can't give it a better name than Tylenol Extended Relief because that's what it does.
Remember, it's Tylenol Extended Relief.
Perfect name, great product.
She fell in love with an older man. I'm gonna take care of you forever. But there was something about him she didn't know.
This guy's married.
Now their passions become a deadly obsession.
You're gonna ask her for a divorce?
There's other ways to end the marriage. Melrose Place's Josie Bissett and Gerald McGraney star in a thriller based on a true story.
She could testify against you. She's not gonna do that.
Deadly Vows, Tuesday at 8, 7 Central on Fox. Parental discretion advised.
The staff and viewers of America's Most Wanted enjoy an unusual partnership with law enforcement. We publicize the fugitives, you supply the tips, and police arrest the bad guys. In our next case, however, our reporter found herself a little more involved than usual. It's a horrific story that has grabbed the national media's attention and split a small town in two. Dozens of adults charged in an incestuous child molestation ring known as the Circle. Breaking that circle is Chief Investigator Perez's main mission.
I've shed my tears, okay, and I hurt for these kids. But I'm going to do my job, and I'm going to do it for them. The bottom line is these children are now safe, and they're no longer being molested, and they're not being hurt.
The horror took place in Wenatchee, Washington, beautiful desert valley community 150 miles east of Seattle. More than a dozen adults have pled guilty to or been convicted of rape and molestation of children. Dozens more are awaiting trial. More than 30 children have named their abusers.
One man escaped the law, Leo Catchaway. Catchaway worked as a groundskeeper and handyman around town, but the kids referred to him as Leo the cameraman.
He videotaped sexual acts between the children, and with the adults, he would choreograph these events.
These women were convicted of molesting their own children. They wouldn't talk about their own crimes, but they agreed to talk about their friend and babysitter, Leo Catchaway.
My daughter's family come and told me after he was gone, because she was afraid that he was going to come back. And Leo Catchaway had told me that he had been molesting the host's daughter. She told me that he was rubbing her in the wrong places. So he threatened us with me and my 3 children, that if we turned him in, that there's something bad could happen to us.
The police gathered enough evidence to charge Catchaway with 13 counts of rape and 4 counts of molestation. But by that time, he'd packed up his tools and left town. A few months later, our reporter, Virginia Williams, went to Wenatchee to report the story. Our involvement generated a lot of publicity and caught the eye of Don Frakes, a friend of Catchaway's.
When all this happened, I just knocked me over with a feather. Couldn't believe it.
Frakes had unwittingly helped Catchaway evade police when he drove with Leo to San Diego, California last summer. He'd given police his information, but as a concerned citizen, wanted to do all he could.
And I just, I couldn't believe it, but I had to believe it. And especially after reading about all these children, pointing him out as a cameraman, and I knew he had a camcorder. I seen it in the back of his truck, locked in a toolbox. So that's when I called her, and I gave her the information that I could.
Frakes told us about a couple in San Diego named Colleen and David Bunch. When our reporter contacted them, they dropped a bombshell.
I told her that I knew where he was, and he was staying with a friend of ours out in Arizona.
Detective Perez and Sergeant Sherry Smith were thrilled to get the tip.
And she said that a friend of hers knew where Leo, or Mr. Catchaway, was at this very moment, and I notified the FBI to get them involved since he was on a Navajo Indian reservation.
That reservation is located here in the Arizona desert outside the town of Window Rock. A federal warrant for Catchaway was issued in only 2 hours. FBI agents and Navajo police found him working outside.
Leo Catchaway was located in here, and he was identified and arrested without incident.
Without the crucial bit of information that was learned by America's Most Wanted and then passed on to us, we don't know how long it would have taken us to locate Mr. Catchaway. Everyone was pleased and excited that he'd finally been captured.
Catchaway was arraigned on June 19th, then returned to Washington State to stand trial. Whether we catch him or you catch him, the most important thing is that we put guys like Catchaway behind bars. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
A man falls off the wagon and falls prey to one of America's most wanted.
Hop in, get out of the rain.
Thanks.
Sure. These antiperspirants, they're history, because now there's something that keeps you drier. New Sure Ultra Dry. It's a new kind of antiperspirant, a soft solid, with just 2 clicks. It goes on dry to keep you ultra dry. Just watch. An ordinary solid can flake off, but New Sure Ultra Dry vanishes in to form an invisible layer of protection that keeps you drier than ever before. Prove it to yourself. New Sure Ultra Dry goes on dry, keeps you ultra dry.
Salon Selectives has captured the power of botanicals in new botanical blends. Shampoos and conditioners that give your hair precisely what it needs. Aloe combines with mango to restore moisture. Citrus blends with peach to boost body. Melon with rose to protect. Botanical blends from Salon Selectives. The newest way to get hair with style.
Join 9-month star Tom Arnold for a look at the funniest films ever made. Planet Hollywood salutes the top 10 comedies of all time, Sunday on Fox.
Cliff here at IHOP, and I'm here to clear up some confusion about IHOP's delicious T-bone steak breakfast and their mouth-watering T-bone steak dinner. Now, there is no T-bone steak lunch, but you can get the breakfast for lunch or dinner. No, wait. Is that right? You can get the lunch for breakfast. No. You can get the breakfast for lunch or dinner, but then dinner and... No, forget it. Nobody does breakfast like IHOP does breakfast or dinner.
$5.99 a T-bone steak breakfast or T-bone steak dinner, $6.99 weekdays at IHOP now.
Because your life begins before sunrise, News 4 Texas brings you an expanded morning edition that fits your life. Weather forecast to help you get dressed. Traffic reports to keep you out of a jam. Business news so you can make smart decisions. Sports action from your favorite teams. And stories that are important to your hometown. Make us part of your morning routine. News 4 Texas Morning Edition. Weekdays from 5:30 to 8.
Two separate multi-alarm fires keep Dallas firefighters busy. One claims a life on News 4 Texas.
My father and I had a really good relationship. We did all kinds of things together. We went to church together. We went to the circus and zoo together. We played in the snow together. We did a lot of nice things together. He made me believe that whatever was out there, I could overcome from strength from within.
But there were problems.
My father was a really bad alcoholic. He pretty much overcome the alcoholism, and he'd got custody of my 6-year-old sister, and things were going the way he'd wanted them to 10 years prior, and he was just where he wanted to be. My dad had been sober for a year and a half from the alcohol. He got a letter from support enforcement that they were raising his child support about $500 more than he'd been paying. He was a little upset about that, and that might have helped give him that little nudge that he needed to take the temptation. Started falling off the wagon, and I guess the temptation for him not to drink was just too high, and he thought he could come through it, and unfortunately he didn't. He called me about 10:30 that evening, and I knew right away that he'd been drinking. He'd been walking around for about 3.5 hours, and so I told him I'd be there to pick him up. Are you all right?
Yeah, the court...
What?
The court said that I have to pay more child support, and I don't know how I'm going to afford it.
You'll figure something out. You always do. So, do you want to talk about it?
I am all right. I'm fine. Really.
Well, can I see you tomorrow? I'll bring the family, and we can talk then.
I told him I really wanted to see him on Saturday to keep him from drinking, but it didn't turn out that way. He kind of brushed me away on Saturday. I talked to him on Saturday morning, but I didn't see him.
According to authorities, Brad Wendler began his drinking binge early that Saturday. Later that day, he met Linda Lee, an aspiring country western singer.
This is my 5-year-old. She is the apple of my eyes. I'm just crazy about this kid. This is my 20-year-old. Look at her, huh? Yeah, and this is my granddaughter.
She's real cute.
Yeah, I'm so proud of them all.
50 miles away at Granite Falls, Rusty Enault was camping with a friend.
You gotta try shooting this stuff up sometime, man.
Shooting it up?
Hey, I do it all the time. It's a good buzz.
Man, taste is part of it.
Police say Enault lived in homeless shelters around Seattle. Never went anywhere without his hunting knife. Enault also had a drinking problem, one so severe he claimed to shoot up Jack Daniels straight into his veins.
Hi. What you need? How you guys doing? All right. Want a beer?
Yeah.
It was me and Rusty and the guy that was camping next to us were sitting around the fire having more drinks. And this guy admitted that he was a homosexual and that he had a black man for a boyfriend. And Rusty just went into a rage.
You are queer, aren't you? You sick bad boy! Get out of here before I kill you! Come on, Ethan!
I can't believe you drank out of the same bottle as that guy.
Calm down, man. It's the 90s. That's the way it is out there today.
Well, Nathan, that may be the way it is, but we're going to do something about it, bro. Right here in Snohomish County. Start one of those white supremacist groups. Get rid of these black recruiters for good. Just get rid of them, man.
All right. Oh, Rusty.
Rusty can drink beer all day long. It's just when he drinks whiskey that he's more quick-tempered, you know, gets hostile faster. It's either his way or no way.
Meanwhile, as Brad Wendler's evening wore on, he was making his way into Linda Lee's heart.
I want to see you again.
3:30 a.m., Father's Day, 1993. Brad was calling it a night, but Rusty Enault had other ideas.
We broke camp and we were heading back. Rusty started asking me to take him to Seattle. And I didn't want to, because by this time it was like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Wait, let's head down to Seattle, party some more.
Oh, Rusty, come on. Why don't you stay at my place?
I got to get to town tonight, man. Come on.
3 a.m. You are totally wasted.
Forget it, Nathan. Just drop me off in Everett. It's on the way.
Sure, hop in. Get out of the rain.
Thanks. Sure.
It was very out of his nature. He was outgoing, but I just can't picture my father seeing some transient walking down the street and my father picking him up voluntarily. That was really, really hard for me to believe.
While police claim Enault went to Brad Wendler's house that night, no one knows exactly what happened once they went inside.
On June 20th, I went to my father's house. It was Father's Day. I was going to buy a cake. We'd gotten him a gift. I used this door open. When I first walked in, I was anticipating, you know, joy and happiness, and we were going to be with the kids, and we were going to spend the day together. Dad! I'll clean up. You jump in the shower. He was cold. He'd been there for quite some time. And then I had a chance to glance around the apartment and saw blood in numerous places. And I really don't recall what was going through my mind, but I was completely hysterical, completely in shock.
But Rusty Enault was calm and collected. In fact, police say he checked into a motel and altered his appearance. But that didn't stop Everett police. They quickly connected him to Brad Wendler's murder.
Our first break came when Mr. Wendler's truck was located in Seattle. It appeared that the truck was the only item taken from the scene. The vehicle was processed and a fingerprint discovered on the vehicle. This fingerprint led us to the suspect, Mr. Enault.
I can't wake up every morning and know that my father's going to be there to call me when he gets home from work. Know that there's a holiday coming again and he won't be there. And trying to explain it to my 3-year-old, you know, she doesn't understand the concept of death, but yet I have to tell her that her papa's not here, he's up in heaven.
Everett police tracked down Rusty Enault in less than a week, but in an attempt to save himself, Enault pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity. Doctors at a state mental institution determined Enault was competent to stand trial, so he moved on to Plan B. Police say Enault convinced other patients to create a diversion, allowing him to scale a 20-foot fence and disappear. Friends say Enault only wears jeans, sneakers, and sweatshirts, and although he altered his appearance after the murder, Enault usually wears a thick mustache and long hair. Enault looks younger and very different without facial hair. You can't see it here, but he has distinctive overlapping front teeth. Enault has the tattoo of a skull wearing a red headband on his right shoulder.
and a wolf's head with bared fangs on his right calf. Friends say Enault is loud and violent when he's drunk, which is most of the time. When he's not getting high, he likes to shoot pool and bowl. If you know where Clarence Rusty Enault is hiding tonight, call our hotline right now at 1-800-CRIME-TV.
Palmolive antibacterial gets germs off hands. And grease off dishes. Germs like Staphylococcus aureus. And grease like chicken fat. She always gets the easy ones.
Palmolive antibacterial, the anti-germ Palmolive.
Some people love our crunchy tacos, others our soft tacos. Now Taco Bell introduces the double-decker taco. Our delicious original taco joined with beans and a soft tortilla. It's the taste big enough to bring the two sides together. The double-decker taco, just 79 cents.
Feel how it feels to have healthier skin. It's nice to be near. It's great to be in. Because Lever 2000 is the deodorant soap with moisturizer. Lever 2000 for healthier skin on all your 2000 parts.
The plan. We will take out the Pentagon.
The price.
$1 billion.
Now, a team of terrorists are trapped.
We have an intruder.
By a cook.
This I'm trained for.
And a busboy.
I'm poor, not a busboy.
Now, adventure has a new commander. Steven Seagal, Under Siege 2, Dark Territory. Rated R. Starts Friday, July 14th at a theater near you. Monday, witness possible new evidence of life on Mars.
This thing may have been carved by intelligence.
Don't miss Encounters, Monday at 8, 7 Central.
Still to come on America's Most Wanted. Murder comes knocking, and a man gives his life to save the most innocent victim of all.
This is a Fox News update. Fires burned out of control in Arizona. A brush fire outside Scottsdale charged 7,000 acres. It was threatening some million-dollar homes, but then the wind shifted. In Phoenix, a huge propane tank was on fire. They were trying to keep it from exploding. And Steffi Graf captured her 6th Wimbledon title with a hard-fought victory over Arantxa Sanchez-Vicario. They battled 2 hours in the 100-degree heat. In the end, it was Graf who came away with the trophy and the $500,000 prize money. This has been a Fox News update.
Paramount Pictures presents the video event of the year, Forrest Gump, winner of 6 Academy Awards, including Best Actor, Tom Hanks, Best Director, Robert Zemeckis, and Best Picture of the Year. Forrest Gump, rated PG-13, now on sale.
Amy, star of Congo, is here to introduce the new Congo bonus box from Blockbuster Video. It's full of candy, snacks, coupons, and more. And it's free when you rent 3 videos from Blockbuster. But you better hurry. They're going fast.
During your Ford dealer's hot Texas summer sell down, the savings on all Ford trucks are really heating up. The final selection of new 95s will never be better. Plus, get 2.9% financing on select model 95 Rangers. Or choose $1,100 cash back. $1,500 if you're a young buyer. 2.9 can save you over $1,400 in finance charges. Up to $1,500 cash back could mean no money down. But the hot Texas summer sell down is only for a limited time. See your North Texas Ford dealer today.
When the U.S. Marshals found out we were coming to Seattle, they specifically asked us to do this next case. The Fugitive is the most recent addition to their 15 most wanted list.
Little Antonio will never meet his dad, but when he's old enough, his mom will tell him why. She'll tell him the story of how his father became a hero, sacrificing his own life to save Antonio before Antonio was ever born. It was November 17, 1994. Antonio Jose Rodriguez and his girlfriend, Darlene Martinez, spent their evening celebrating. Darlene had just learned that their hunch was true. They were going to have a baby.
He was happy because he was going to have a baby. It was his first child. He was like already buying stuff. He bought a crib. He bought clothes.
Jose thought nothing could ruin his happiness. But at 1 a.m., police say this man, 37-year-old Scott Freeberg, turned the couple's night of joy into a tragedy.
Scott Freeberg and another man
pulled up to this apartment building and got out and went up to the door in the one floor up. They knocked on the door, telling the occupants there that they'd come to collect a debt. He pushed his way in to the building, grabbed Darlene, started demanding money.
I don't know. I don't know who this man was. I don't why he came through the door. We've never seen him.
Police say Jose tried to protect the lives of Darlene and his unborn baby by striking Freeberg over the head. They say Freeberg turned and shot Jose twice, killing him instantly. Darlene tried to escape, but was confronted by a second man at the door.
The other guy stood there, and he says, "You're not going nowhere." And then I pushed the door open, and he grabbed my robe, and then I took off running down the stairs.
Police say that after Darlene made it to safety, Freeberg took off. The last time he was spotted was Thanksgiving Day. Then his tracks go cold. Freeberg is reportedly a brutal and dangerous man. While serving time in a California prison, he was convicted of attempted murder after beating another inmate over the head with a hammer. Scott Allen Freeberg may be traveling with a biker group. He has the words "bad to the bone" tattooed across his back. You can see that he also has a lot of tattoos on both arms, although police aren't sure what they are. Freeberg may be going by the alias Scott Brown. He's used it before. If you know where Scott Allen Freeberg is tonight, call 1-800-CRIME-TV.
Last week we told you about little Morgan Nick, the young girl from Arkansas who was kidnapped. So please, take another good look. Her family desperately needs your help.
Your calls have sent a ray of hope to Alma, Arkansas, a place that right now needs hope more than anything else. 6-year-old Morgan Nick was kidnapped from Alma 4 weeks ago. After we profiled her case, you called in more than 100 tips. Police have been checking out each one, but the one call that will bring Morgan home still eludes them.
We're hoping to call somebody to pick up the telephone and call us and give us the information we need to put an end to this case, to return Morgan and to arrest and convict the person that's taken her.
This is a sketch of the man police believe took Morgan. He's also suspected of an attempted abduction at this laundromat, an attempt which scared a 4-year-old victim and her mother into hiding. Police are still trying to determine their identity to gain more information about Morgan's abductor. He was last seen driving a dull red, older model Ford pickup truck with a damaged red and white camper attachment. Morgan was last seen wearing a green Girl Scouts t-shirt and blue denim shorts. If you've seen Morgan or her abductor, please call our hotline tonight at 1-800-CRIME-TV.
Can you love too much? No. I love lots of things. I love baseball, my dog. I love Kentucky Fried Chicken. Last night we had original recipe chicken. Yeah, 11 herbs and spices. My mom tells me it's marinated. It's marinated. It makes it taste gooder in every bite. I think you're overthinking it. Maybe we'd better go have dinner. Yeah!
Rediscover original recipe chicken. Now marinated for that same great taste in every bite. Everybody needs a little KFC.
You know, Linda's been my barber. Silent. For years. Months. And a while back, she told me.
Stop squirming.
No. She said I should do something about my flakes. I said, get a new barber? She said, get new Head and Shoulders. I said, you're serious? She said, yeah. Now it has Micro D, which fights flakes better without stripping your hair of the oils in it. So my hair feels no flakes. And I owe it all to my stylist.
New Head and Shoulders, because great hair can't have flakes.
This is the Natoli family, not known as light eaters. Okay, Natolis, now dessert's on me. You'll clean the lasagna pan. Okay, here's the pan, and here's new ivory liquid.
I don't think so.
Just to prove a point, let's cool down the hot water a little.
You can't believe it.
New Ivory's special additives give it so much more cleaning power, it even does a better job in cooler water.
I didn't think it do with the cooler water.
New Ivory's dermatologist tested to be gentle on hands.
Change is good. So what's for dessert?
This is where your fight for clean teeth can be won or lost. Here, between your teeth, the toughest place to clean. But be aware, the most powerful instruments for penetrating between teeth aren't for home use. This is Crest Complete. It's designed to fit the shape of your teeth, so it comfortably penetrates and cleans far between them. If
The toothbrush fits. Use it. Crest Complete, the right fit for clean teeth.
6-year-old Bryce Herta has been missing from Mia Bay, Washington since April 9th. Police say Bryce had been hiking with family and friends at the Macaw Indian Reservation. He became separated and disappeared. Bryce has a mole on his right temple and a 1-inch vertical scar on his forehead. He was last seen wearing a white T-shirt, green pants, and Power Ranger tennis shoes. If you've seen Bryce Herta, please call 1-800-CRIME-TV.
Now, here's a quick review of tonight's cases. Convicted child rapist Roy Wayne Bevan is wanted for escape by the FBI in Tyler, Texas. Isaiah Clarence Rusty Enault is being sought by police in Everett, Washington for murder. Scott Freeberg is wanted by the FBI, U.S. Marshals, and the Seattle Police Department for the murder of a Seattle man. This is the composite drawing of a man police say is responsible for the kidnapping of young Morgan Nick, the Arkansas girl who was taken from a Little League baseball game. Next Saturday night, we'll be in San Francisco, investigating the case of one of the biggest drug dealers in California. Police say he's killed more than once. I'm John Walsh. Thanks for watching, and good night from Seattle.